Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to chapter 4 of the MOTOBIK video tutorial series. The objective of this video tutorial series is that to gain all the information or knowledge required to clear the license A or license AM in one go. In today's topic we'll be discussing about definitions of what is a driver, what is a pedestrian, and infrastructure types. For example, what is the speed, or what are the attributes of a motorway, what are the attributes of a highway, etc, etc. So without further ado, let's begin. But before we begin, as I may always mention that okay, I'm not a traffic expert, but I have gained all the knowledge through a lot of hard work. I have consolidated all the knowledge into simple sentences, and the information that I am giving here is purely in terms of clearing the exam. I know what type of exam comes because I have already given the exam. So yeah, I hope everyone likes it. And also I would like to mention that the app MOTOBIK has similarities with my earlier app, that is Trap, and this Trap app is available for free in Google Play. The app is mainly aimed towards license B, it is, we already know that in Netherlands to buy a book or to appear to give test series is pretty expensive. So my aim is to help the students as much as possible. Okay, so what do we mean by traffic or road users? Any individual, very important to know, any individual who takes part in traffic is a road or a traffic user. So they are the participants, and the subdivision of a traffic participant could be driver and pedestrians. Okay, could be not, it is only there are two classifications of road users, that is drivers and pedestrians. Okay, and for the viewers information, 3 questions are for sure from this chapter. Okay, so let's understand what does a driver means. Drivers are people who control a vehicle or an animal. This could be very confusing, like animal, but we'll go through it. Which animals makes excuse me, makes a pedestrian as a driver? So walking with a horse is a driver, but walking with sheep is not a driver. Walking with dogs is not a driver. So only and only walking with horse and with hooves below their legs, like here, the hooves, that makes them, means this is a driver, this is not a pedestrian. Okay, then the drivers are generally those people who are driving a vehicle. For example, I am walking with my bike, then I am a pedestrian, but I am driving my bike, then I am a driver. Okay, someone teaching how to drive is also a driver, whether the driver is sitting beside me in a car or somehow there is a second handle and helping me to maneuver during driving a bike. So yeah, that is also called a driver. These slides were already presented in my earlier app, so that is why I have included the same app here. The people who already know about my previous app, so they would recognize this slide. So that's why I have the Trap logo here, not a logo but Trap app name here. It is a reference. Walking with a motor or a bicycle is a pedestrian, however driving it makes it as a driver. Okay, very easy but very important to know. Okay, let's understand what does it mean to be a pedestrian. Pedestrians are people who do not have any control of a vehicle. And what do I mean by control is that they are riding on it, they are driving it, not just walking with it. They have control of a vehicle or an animal with hooves, or are pedestrians. Do not have any control of a vehicle or animal with hooves. Yeah, they are on foot and walk generally on the sidewalk or pavement. Generally pedestrians are not allowed on pavement, but if you are walking with your horse then it makes it you as a driver. Also, people riding skateboards are pedestrians. Skater, mechanical steps, sitting on a wheelchair, people walking with dogs are pedestrians. This is very important. Sometimes it could be confusing in the exam because you are already under stress. So please remember this. This is generally you can expect this question in the exam. A person walking with a moped, bike or motorcycle are pedestrians. Okay. Then invalid carriageway. On the pavement shall follow the rule of pedestrian, while carriageway, invalid carriageway or on the bicycle path have to follow the driver rules. Yeah, this is very important to know, because if a invalid carriageway, this one, is on the bicycle path or pavement, they have to follow the rules of drivers. And what are the rules of drivers? Like always give priority to people on the right and all those things. But if the invalid carriageway is on the pavement, then they have to follow the rules of a pedestrian. Very important. Sometimes there could be a question. Okay, if I am riding a bike and suddenly from the pedestrian path a invalid carriageway is entering the main carriageway, then whether I have to give priority or not? I don't have to give priority, because if the invalid carriageway is on the pavement, then they are pedestrians, and I don't have to give pedestrians priority from the right. So in that way, please understand this rule. This is very important. The pedestrians are called vulnerable road users, and old people are called, or people with disability are called more vulnerable road users. Please rewind it, please understand it. This is very important to know, and the insights are a lot. Okay, motor vehicles. What does it mean? Well, same. This slide was taken from my previous app, so that's why I have the reference of this app, or this, yeah. A vehicle with a motor is called a motor vehicle. For example, cars, motorbikes, trucks, bus and passenger cars are motor vehicles. A Brahmobile, cycle, moped, snorfits, electric bikes, Segway, hoverboards, trams and trains are non-motor vehicles. Surprised, huh? You guys must be surprised. How come a Brahmobile is not a motor vehicle? Well, that is also surprising for me, but these are the rules in Netherlands that makes this driving this theory exam very complicated, because motor vehicles have different rules and non-motor vehicles have different rules. Okay, moving forward, motor carriages. Well, what does it mean to be a motor carriages? All vehicles that move with motors, with fuel, steam or electricity are motor carriages. For example, a tram is a non-motor vehicle, but it is a motor carriage. A car is a motor vehicle and also a motor carriage. Mechanically driven cycles are non-motor carriages. Very important to know. So please be precise and clear. What does it mean to be a motor vehicle, motor carriages? Which group of motor vehicles are motor carriages? Which group of motor carriages are not motor vehicles? Which like mechanical driven cycles are non-motor carriages? So please be very clear with it. Cars, passenger cars, truck, Brahmobile, moped, snorfits, electric bikes and segways, hoverboards, tractor, invalid carriageway are motor carriages. So segway is a motor carriage. If I am riding a segway, then I am a driver. But a skater is a pedestrian, but if I am driving a segway which has small motors, is a motor carriage, and I am a driver, not a pedestrian. Please be very careful with it. These are the insights. Invalid carriageway on road is a driver, and if on pavements, then it's a pedestrian. This one we have already discussed in the previous slide. This one, while they have to follow the rules of pedestrian here and they have to follow the rules of driver here. Okay, additional insights. Well, Segway follows the rule of moped. Mopeds have yellow license plates, so Segway must have yellow license plates. And Segways are banned in Netherlands. It's illegal in Netherlands. I also want to buy a Segway. Generally, a police officer overlooks it, but if you are creating any problem while driving a Segway, then yeah, they will charge you 280 euros as a fine. Brommobile follows the rules of a car. It is a car. This is a Brommobile, and maximum speed is 45 km per hour, and it follows the rules of the car. Segway follows the rules of mopeds. And what does it mean by following the rules of moped? Is it that you have these traffic signposts where there is a mandatory